Welcome to Raw Review Mini, ladies and gentlemen. I will be talking roughly about three things. First thing I want to talk about is the women's match for the #1 contendership for Payback. Sasha Banks versus Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Now, I want to be honest. The person I wanted to see win was Mickie James. But since Mickie James has turned face, they're not going to do face versus face. They had to do a heel. And I knew 100% they weren't going with Nia Jax. They don't believe she's ready yet. And I agree. She is strong. She is capable. But she's still green. And as much as people want to see her there, which I admit, I would like to see a big woman have the freaking title and every other woman has to struggle to get it. She's still not ready yet. So they picked Alexa Bliss. And I'll say this. She didn't do too bad on Raw. And she has done very well on SmackDown. So picking her for Payback isn't too bad. But I do believe this. When it comes to Alexa Bliss, and I'm not against Alexa, because she is literally the smallest woman on the roster. She's not as big as Dana Brooks. Dana Brooks is bigger than her. And Dana Brooks is not a big woman. She's a sawed-off little runt. But Alexa Bliss is smaller than she is. So that, it doesn't translate that well for a long-term run at the title. She needs to drop that title after about a month or two. And I do believe it's got to be to a bigger woman. Now the problem is the biggest woman is Nia Jax. We need her to be the woman who holds the title. It will mean something if she's the one who's holding it. But she's not ready. So it's kind of like, what do you do? The second thing I want to talk about, which I've been kind of holding off on. Because every time when I want to talk about it, something else comes up. So I put it back and I put it back and I put it back. But I got to talk about it now. I can't take it no more. Sheamus and Cesaro coming out in freaking kilts. I've said that this should be done for Becky Lynch. Becky is Irish, like Sheamus is, like Finn Balor is, like Finlay is. They're Irish. They rarely show anything Irish. Of course, Finn Balor has the eye of Balor that he can fall back on. Sheamus has stopped using the Celtic warrior gimmick for quite a long time. And I would love to see Becky Lynch go to the Celtic warrior type of style. But she hasn't done it yet. The only thing she did was just change up her clothes. And I truly believe that she needs to become more Celtic. I think it would be better for her than Sheamus or Finn Balor. But I gotta say this. Is it kind of good to see Sheamus wearing a kilt again? Yes. Is it funny to see Cesaro, a Swiss, wear a kilt? Yes. Is it good to see the entrance going, thinking about Hulk Hogan in a kilt and then ripping off the kilt? It's funny. I'm going to say it's funny. I'm not going to talk about that match. It's not the point for me. I didn't expect them to win. But it was funny to see that they decided to do this gimmick. They want to work together, and they're doing something that actually is interesting. It may not be spectacular, but it is interesting to see two guys in a kilt walking down to the ring. That's funny. Now, the final thing we have to talk about. The rematch. And the implosion. Well, if I'm correct, and please someone tell me below if I'm wrong. This will be the third time this has happened. I could be wrong, and I think that might be a fourth time. But if I'm correct, this is the third time this has happened in WWE history. The first one was with Brock Lesnar and The Big Show. The second one was Mark Henry and The Big Show. And now it's this one with Braun Strowman and The Big Show. Let's be honest here. As much as many people don't think the Big Show does business with people. I've always said this. I've always liked the Big Show, even though the gimmicks they put him in. And I agree with Ryback. He did an interview, I think about 5 or 4 months ago. And I believe, who was it exactly? I don't know if it was with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't think it was. It was somebody else. I can't remember who. But I'm going to be honest here. Ryback said it best. That Big Show is one of the best big men he's ever seen. And he's so badly underutilized by the WWE. He's given such stupid gimmicks that it's terrible. I really wish he would go to TNA. I'm being honest here. I would love to see the Big Show go to TNA. I would love to see him go there as a big man. They would get way more than they would expect from the Big Show. I truly believe that. Because when you see this, when you see Braun Strowman getting put over by the Big Show, because he just did, it is obvious that this man does proper business compared to John Cena, compared to Triple H, compared to maybe Y2J. Some of the older generation wrestlers. The Big Show actually does put people over that he sees really can do some great business. The only problem is WWE doesn't understand when someone's put over, you make sure they stay over. But in this respect, was the match good? At first it was a little sloppy. I'm not going to lie about it. The match was a little sloppy at first and slow. Then it picked up in the middle. And then by the end of it, it was good. Just like the last match. Admittedly, the last match, which was the first time we were there, it was a lot more fast-paced. In this case, I felt it was a little slower at first. But in the end, I could see it coming when that splat went. And the ring imploded. And the ref flew right out of the freaking ring. That man just went whoop. He was stupid enough to hold on to the ring ropes when the damn thing collapsed. And he got thrown outside that damn ring as he was holding on to the ring ropes. It was a beautiful thing to watch. The crowd was totally into the match. Around near the middle to the end, I believe. I mean, parts of the beginning, they were into it. But by the middle to the end, they were totally into it. And I see these guys having great chemistry. The only thing I hope for is that they do not overutilize them. And not have them do matches all the time. Once in a while, yes. Make sure they do it once in a while. Keep these two separated as much as possible. And make it special. Make this so very special. If you're going to have them match each other again, do it by Survivor Series. Let them be completely separate from each other until Survivor Series. Or TLC for that matter. Make it months in the building. In the making. A special type of match. A stipulation match if you're going to do it. This is what I believe. If you're going to do another match, make it a special match. Make it maybe a stipulation match where if the Big Show loses again, that he goes to SmackDown. Do it that way. Have the Big Show go to SmackDown. It would be a good idea. It won't hurt anybody. And it'll do good for the Big Show. But it's just my point of view. You guys have a good day and good night. And 2 things. 1, watch my I'm hoping to get my reality of wrestling done tomorrow. But I got some stuff to do, like laundry and stuff. But you may see before that, my Pro Wrestling Guide for Newbies may come out before that. And it could be about matches. I can't decide which one of the videos I'm going to release. I think it's going to be matches or injury. Watch for them. Hopefully I will release them both tomorrow before SmackDown Live. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.